sentando pro pai, pai, vem sentando pro pai. Vem sentando pro pai, pai, vem sentando pro pai. Oh! Tente bater de frente, 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 de frente. É ser que sou agressivo, deite sua bunda mesmo. Vai novinha com todo prazer, hoje você tá tarada.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to League 7. My name is Felix of Virtual Witchcraft, here today with the illustrious Quidditch Champions League known as League 7. If you're just joining us today, allow me to catch you up to speed. Over the past few months, we have had multiple teams face off head-to-head against one another in an effort to become the quintessential Quidditch champions for the Season 4 History of Magic. In this past competition, they have competed in their O.W.L.s, based around the Wizarding World's ordinary wizarding level examinations. During this time, each team has gone head-to-head, fought against one another, ranked themselves up the bracket, and gotten to the point where they have competed in this little miniature tournament to determine the qualifiers for the nastily exhausting wizarding test known as N.E.W.T.s. Today, we have a very, very special matchup between the Nimbus Nighthawks and the team formerly known as the Hellfire Hogs. These two teams have made a name for themselves over Quidditch history through multiple different seasons and even have come today to really showcase their stuff. We are going to be getting into it here shortly, just getting a few last-minute things prepared, and the teams are loading themselves on up. So don't go away. We will be right back. Alrighty, everyone, thank you for your patience. We're about to be getting into the first matchup between the Nimbus Nighthawks and the team formerly known as the Hellfire Hogs. Today, we have the perspective of both, let's see here, Smart Bean and Dak Januels. It's going to be a fantastic matchup here, so don't go away. We're about to get in. And they are off. Looks as if the Nimbus Nighthawks have taken control very quickly, but Udamorn quick to the quaffle, sending it out to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower streaking down the pitch, weaving right, looking left. Set up for a shot, but just wasn't able to get it in time. Looks as if Cheese and Queso is now in possession of the quaffle. Sends it over to Dak. Dak looks left, but is tackled by Smart Bean. Smart Bean begins taking the quaffle downfield, looks for an opening and sends it on down to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower continuing on their way. Dak attempting for the tackle. And he goes for the shot. Sweeping Flower puts 10 on the board at 6 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. What a beautiful shot. Looks like Dak Daniels is in possession of the quaffle. Sends it on over to Darkrit. Back to Smart Bean. Smart Bean streaking down the field, passing it over to Sweeping Flower once more. Will they go for a repeat of the last shot? Let's see. Oh, it looks like Sweeping Flower confirms that second shot in there. Meanwhile, Dak is looking to get into some interference on the beater and seeker play to assure their team gets that snitch. And it is looking rather close so far. Presently appears to be in favor of the Hellfire Hogs. Smart Bean in possession of the quaffle. Oh! But tackled. Dak Daniels back in possession. Or excuse me, not Dak Daniels. Yes, Dak Daniels. I'm getting confused with my players here. Dak's weaving. He's streaking. Oh, he dodges out of the way. Oh, but he is kicked out by the keeper. Udo Morn ensuring that no one is getting on there. And Green-Black captures the snitch, putting an additional 20, 30 points on the board, earning 40 in total to the Hellfire Hogs. Yeah. Smart Bean in possession. Looks for a shot. Takes the shot, and that is an additional 10 points for the Hogs. Ooh. Cheese and Queso puts another point on the board. This time in favor of the Nimbus Nighthawks. Or excuse me, no. Oh, goodness. I do apologize, everyone. I have been commentating with the understanding that the scoreboard has been up on your side. Unfortunately not. Allow me just one moment as you enjoy this beautiful gameplay to get that set and squared away. One moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do forgive me for the technical difficulties there. However, that is 130 by way of the Nimbus Nighthawks in this first match between them and the Hellfire Hogs, securing their very first win in this best of three. As I'm currently working on this, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm currently going to be going in and trying to get things set up. Do forgive me. We will be right back. All right, everyone. I do apologize for that. There seem to have been a few technical difficulties, but we're getting back into match 2 of the Hellfire Hogs versus the Nimbus Nighthawks. I think I figured out what the issue had been on my side, so I've gone ahead and given that a quick little update. Everything should reflect appropriately now, but we'll see here shortly. And they are off. Hellfire Hogs dancing around the quaffle. Looks like Udo sends it back down. Passing it back over here. Looks like that's over to Dak Janiels. Janiels going for a quick little loop-de-loop around the hoops. Try and send them off. But Smart Bean now in possession of the quaffle. Dak trying to get it back. Moving into the defensive position. Goes for the swing. Doesn't actually. Goes for some interference play, but it's not enough. Sweeping Flower proving that they have the ability to break past almost any stalwart defense. That is 10 points on the board by way of the Hellfire Hogs. And I am confident in saying that's the Hellfire Hogs this time. I do apologize again for that mix-up earlier. Looks like Darkrit is now in possession of the quaffle. Over to Dak. Dak takes the shot, but it is blocked by Udomorn. Udomorn holding onto the quaffle, looking for an opening. Sends it on down to Smart Bean. Smart Bean now in possession of the quaffle, passes over to Tama. Tama streaking down the field. Tama dips and dives, weaves around the defensive line. Looks like they're preparing. Oh, and Dak is in. No. Yes, Dak is in possession. Not. No, it's Darkrit. Darkrit moves, weaves, but misses. FM now in possession. Udo back in possession of the quaffle. Quaffle over to Smart Bean. Smart Bean streaking down the field. Takes a look. Passes to Sweeping Flower. Are they going for another Sweeping Flower special? Let's see. Gutierrez gets the quaffle and the save. And now it looks as if we've got some Smart Bean action. Pummeling the enemy chasers as the snitch gets closer and closer. It's a tie between Green-Black, but Green-Black goes down by Cheese and Queso, allowing the Nighthawks to get the snitch, with Michimo capturing the snitch at 4 minutes and 37 seconds, putting 20 points on the board. Nimbus Nighthawks 20, Hogs at 10. Darkrit in possession of the quaffle. Oh, but Smart Bean gets the tackle. Moving it back downfield, back over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower going farther. Let's see. Sweeping Flower goes left, then right. Lines up for the shot, and score! 20-20 tie game at 4 minutes in. We're at 4 minutes left on the clock. We have a tied game between the Hellfire Hogs and the Nimbus Nighthawks. Let's see, Gutierrez about to pass it back on out, holding potentially for that kick. Sends it. FM now in possession. FM takes a shot. That is 30 points on the board. Nimbus Nighthawks now in the lead. Hellfire Hogs are going to have to keep up the pressure if they're going to want to win this match and stay within the qualifiers. Smart Bean. Bit of quality issues here, but Smart Bean still gets the shot in there. 30-30 tied game. This is still looking like anybody's matchup. 3 minutes left on the clock. Seekers appear to be at 50% of the way on their snitch bars. Tie game so far. Let's hope for another tie game further. But let's see, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else. Darkrit dancing around the defensive chasers. Whipping left, dodging right, backing up. Keeping the Hogs on their toes. But Sweeping Flower now back in possession of the quaffle. Ooh. And Dak now in possession. Dak passing it back to Gutera. Gutera looking for an opening. Dak going in there to play some Seeker interference. Seekers are still neck and neck with a slight lead by way of the Hogs. 30-30, 2 minutes in. Chasers are abandoning Quaffle play entirely. Quaffle is on the ground. All Chasers together. Smartbeam going in for the Quaffle to try and get another second score. Looks like, oh, but Gutierrez saves, and Green-Black captures the snitch. That is 50 points on the board for the Hellfire Hogs. The Hellfire Hogs are coming back into the lead here. We may be looking at a third round match, but it's anyone's game right now. Just another snitch capture, and they are good. Dak Daniels passes it over to Dark. Setting up for a shot. Doesn't need the pass. That is Dark Rit earning another point for the Nimbus Nighthawks. This is amazing. 50-40 on the board, still in the lead of the Hellfire Hogs. We have a minute and 20 seconds left. Sweeping Flower now in possession of the Quaffle. Takes the shot, sinks it in, passing over to Tom in the last second. Thomas scores for the Hogs. That is 60-40, a minute left on the clock. If the if the Nighthawks are going to want to have any chance of securing this without going into match 3, they are going to need to capture the snitch and get another shot on goal. And it looks like that the Hellfire Hogs are getting that snitch insurance. They currently have 70 points on the board. 40 seconds left on the clock. Anything can happen in these last 30 seconds. Dark Red coming back saying, we're not out of this. We're going to put you into the grave sooner or later. I'm going to try and get this last second shot in. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. Seeker's game is going to become ever so important. Oh, Dark Red puts another point on the board if they capture the snitch here. And they do! With 14 seconds left on the clock, the Nimbus Nighthawks secured that third snitch. Unless the Hogs get a final shot on goal here, it is the end of the match, and it looks as if Gutera is holding on to it. 1 second left, and that is game. 80-70 with a spectacular last-minute shot, last-minute capture, earning them a absolutely spectacular win. With the Nimbus Nighthawks now having 2 out of 3 matches under their belt, they have completed, if I am not mistaken, the finals for the qualifier bracket. This has been, whilst a technically difficult by way of streaming side on my part, I do apologize, but an exciting matchup overall. You cannot find a more exciting game than this today. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone, let us all take a moment to just bask in the glory of this most recent match. I am still on the edge of my seat. That was an exciting turnaround, a complete comeback by way of the Nighthawks in that match, sinking no less than 3 goals within a 40-second period of time. Or, excuse me, 2 goals and a snitch capture within that time. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal. For the Hellfire Hogs, although this may have been a loss today, you played spectacularly through the entirety of the season, and I hope to see more of you in Season 5. It may be the end of your Season 4 career, but you went out in a snorting, blazing inferno of glory. Well done, everyone. Well done. And for the Nighthawks, you have secured your place in the next part of the N.E.W.T.s. For my watchers, my listeners today here at League 7, Be sure to join us again next Saturday for the first matches of the N.E.W.T.s, where we will post more information regarding that exact matchup over at our official League 7 Discord. If you haven't joined that already, be sure to join us over at league7.gg for our official website. Should be able to find the Discord link therein. If you haven't already, be sure to like and follow us. Today's stream was a bit rough, but our streams are usually of fun quality and of exciting matches at all times. So, thank you everyone. If you haven't already, have a great day. Join us in the server. Keep up to date with all the League 7 going-ons there. Catch you around. You thought. You thought. No. Dear listeners, viewers of League 7, I was wrong. I was wrong. Turns out that this is a best of 5. And on top of that, due to the technical difficulties that I was facing earlier with the confusion in scores, we still have another few matches. That was a 1-1 win. Both of us. Now seeing that, the Hellfire Hogs and Nimbus Nighthawks both have a win under their belts. I do apologize for the confusion there. But we will be having another matchup coming here shortly. Another few matchups, actually. Currently, just waiting on the teams to load on in for their next match. For the Hellfire Hogs, I'm sorry to have discounted you so quickly. It wasn't a doubting of your skill. Rather, it was a confusion on my part. We're going to be getting back into this here shortly, where we're going to see another exciting matchup. Especially now knowing that there was everything a bit on the line here. One match under both teams' belts. One win under both teams' belts. At least 2 more matches to go. Potentially. Another 4? Yeah. Another 3. This is going to be exciting, guys. So don't go away. I'm going to be conferring with a few of the officials, making sure I've got all of the information finally correct. We'll go from there. All right, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and outside, welcome back to League 7. We are about to be moving into Game 3 between the matchup between the Hellfire Hogs and the Nimbus Nighthawks. Again, I do apologize for earlier, my confusion there, but both teams are currently 1-1 in wins, meaning that they still have a few more games to go before we can call it quits here today. And we are starting off with the perspective of Smart Bean. Smart Bean in possession of the Quaffle, streaking on down the field, passes it over to Tama. Tama in possession, pushing. FM coming around for defensive line chasing. Goes down the field, back in possession of Tama. Tama looking for an opening. And N.E.W.T.s saves, preventing the first shot on goal. Now, it looks as if we've got Darkrit in possession of the Quaffle. Darkrit looks for an opening. It's knocked out. Smart Bean now in possession. Smart Bean streaking down the pitch, looking for an opening, sending it back down to Tama. Tama of the Hogs doesn't get it. Instead, it goes back towards Udomorn. Udomorn passing it back over to Smart Bean. Smart Bean whipping back around, looking for an opening, passes it over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower streaking downfield. We might see a shot, and Sweeping Flower sinks it in once more. 10-0 on the board for the Hellfire Hogs. We've got 5 minutes and 47 seconds, or 43 seconds remaining in the game with the first shot on goal. Looks like they're looking for another shot. Ooh! But Smart Bean now in possession of the Quaffle. Passes it down to Sweeping Flower. Are they going to repeat that shot again? Sweeping Flower looks for an opening. Whips around. Goes for an angle shot. Ooh, we've got some desync going on here. FM moves into possession. Trying to defend against this desync setup. Oh! Oh! Darkrit in possession of the Quaffle. Passes it on over. Takes it back. Darkrit sinks it home. 10-10 on the board. Tied game. Seekers are getting closer and closer. Looks as if there's a slight favor by way of the Nighthawks, but one bump could change it all. Are we going to see a similar procedure to before? Yeah, looks like they're getting some massive chaser interference, but it doesn't matter. Michi Mo catches the snitch. That is 30-10 in favor of the Nimbus Nighthawks. 4 minutes, 44 seconds remaining on the clock. That sets them a decent lead, but another snitch and just another goal is all that they need to see that turn around. Smart Bean steals the Quaffle, sends it back over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower going to get the hat trick today. Another shot. Oh! But it looks as if we've got the Nimbus Nighthawks back in possession of the Quaffle. FM holding on to it. Weaving around, trying to confuse the enemy seekers and the keeper, get them to come out a little too far, look for an angle shot, but it is stolen away by Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower showing their prowess not only with the shots, but also in the defensive line, passing it over to Tama. Tama now in possession of the Quaffle. Tama looking for an opening to pass over to a teammate. Oh, sends it on over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower takes the shot, hat trick right there. Once more, we see a beautiful shot there. Sweeping Flower getting 20 points on the board for the Hogs, 30 points for the Nighthawks at the moment. Dak Daniels now in possession of the Quaffle. Looks like they're playing a bit of seeker interference here. Getting that mid-snitch race. Pressure on. Let's see. FM setting up for a one-timer pass shot, but it is taken away. Now in possession of the Hogs. But FM gets the Quaffle. Moving it back on over. Dips down. Gets past the keeper. Takes a free shot. That is 40 points on the board. 40 for the Nighthawks. 20 for the Hellfire Hogs. Snitch race doesn't seem to be too far along just yet. We are just cresting on the 50%. Looks like that the Hogs actually have the advantage here. Oh! Darkrit sinks another beautiful shot in for the Nighthawks. 50-20 on the board. The Hogs are going to need to capture the snitch and get another point just to get a tied game. This is high pressure, high stakes, everyone. Smart Bean now in possession of the quaffle, wanting to move on downfield. Oh, but it is stolen. Looks like FM now back in possession of the quaffle, starting to whip and weave, dip and dive, and swings over to the right, sinking it into the right hoop. That is another shot on goal. 60 points for the Nimbus Nighthawks. We're getting close on the Seeker game. Looks as if Smart Bean is trying to play a bit more interference on Seekers. Oh, but that might have cost him. Oh, Dark Rit sending another score in there. 70 points on the board, and I do believe it looks like... Oh no, that is unfortunate. It looks as if Udo's, the Hogs keeper, had desynced out of the server and is just getting back into it now. Oh, but the pressure for the snitch race is on high. Everyone's moving in for position, trying to play into it. Mitchie captures the snitch. That is 90 points. At 1 minute and 27 seconds left on the clock, the Hogs are going to need a miracle if they're going to want to turn this around. Not only to play an impressive defensive line, but also have to sink in. Oh, but Dak Daniels puts the last goal of that matchup into the hoops. 120 by way of the Nimbus Nighthawks. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, that is 2 wins. And this time I can say with confidence, 2 wins for the Nimbus Nighthawks. 1 win for the Hellfire Hogs. In this best of 5 matchup, we're going to need to see at least 1 more win by way of the Nighthawks. But the Hellfire Hogs still have a chance to turn this around. And if I've learned anything in my time watching the Hellfire Hogs over multiple seasons now, they cannot be discounted. They cannot be put out. Nimbus Nighthawks do have an advantage here. A slight lead. But the Hogs have the fire. They have the spirit, the drive, the determination to turn this around. To make it so that they push themselves farther and farther into the N.E.W.T.s bracket. We've seen some significant improvement, not only with their tactics, but also with their chemistry over the years. It is possible to see the Hogs still take this. But will the Nimbus Nighthawks give them that leeway? I don't think so. I think the Nimbus Nighthawks are going to do everything in their power to take to the skies, screech out in that hawk formation, and really give it to them in this next matchup. But, as I said, it's anyone's game. The game of Quidditch can be a difficult and rough one. But we're going to see, if anything, incredible spirit from everyone here today. So don't go away. We're going to take a moment for a quick ad break. I do believe the players are going in and taking a moment to refresh their games. So, don't go away. We'll be right back. right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. The Hellfire Hogs and Nimbus Nighthawks have taken their time to refresh their clients, get their players ready, strategize before they move into this next match. This has the potential to be the fourth and final match, ladies and gentlemen. The pressure is on. We have the Nimbus Nighthawks with 2 wins under their belt. The Hellfire Hogs with 1 win under their belt. If the Nimbus Nighthawks manage to get this win, then the Hogs will be going home. And for realsies this time. But do the Hellfire Hogs have the blaze inside of them to prevent that from happening? Let's find out. And Dak Daniels is in possession of the quaffle, passing it on over to FM. FM takes possession, starts weaving around the post, but is tackled away. We now have Shucks in possession of the quaffle, passing it on. Oh, but Dark Rit manages to capture the quaffle on hand. FM setting up for a pass shot, but doesn't get it. FM manages to regain the quaffle, but is tackled by Shucks. Shucks holds on to the quaffle. Passes it on to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower passing it over to Smart Bean. Smart Bean having a bit of a choppy stream, but it's okay. We can still see the vision. Looks for an opening, takes the shot in the right hoop, and sinks it home. 10 points on the board by way of the Hellfire Hogs. Well done, Hogs. Good first goal. 6 minutes left in the match, and the quaffle is back into play. Looks like Dark Rit is in possession. Looks for an opening, takes the shot, and responds. Dak Daniels responding with 10 points on the board, making that 10-10, 5 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock. Tied game between the Hogs and the Nighthawks. Sending on over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower now in possession. Passes it to Shucks. Shucks looking for an opening, but N.E.W.T.s saves the quaffle and sends it on over to FM. FM moving the quaffle downfield, just trying to pass it on away. Dark Rit in possession. Looking for an opening. Smart Bean dancing around, looking for a defensive line. He's having a little trouble there. Dark Rit playing around. The Snitch is neck and neck. I think it's a distraction technique. Oh, Smart Bean has the quaffle, but seems to be neglecting the Seeker Chase. The Seeker Chase, it's neck and neck. They're so close. Any bump, any capture. Who is going to capture this? And it's Green Black. Green Black manages to secure the Snitch for the Hellfire Hogs. Well done, Green Black. If you've been keeping up, Green Black Cat has also been operating as a champion within the Tri-Wizard tournament, showcasing right there their capabilities as a phenomenal Seeker. Will that help them in the Tri-Wizard tournament? We shall see. But back to the game itself. We have Dak Daniels in possession of the quaffle. Cheese and Queso got hit by a bludger. And now, it looks like they're looking for a defensive line shot. Smart Bean whipping around, trying to do everything in their power. And Udo Morn now has possession. Sending it over to Smart Bean. Smart Bean in possession of the quaffle. Passes on over to Sweeping Flower. Sweeping Flower been a dominating presence when it comes down to the chaser game. Are they going to line up for the shot? Are they going to be able to get this? FN looking to defend. Shucks in possession. Shucks sends it home. That is 40-10 in favor of the Hellfire Hogs. This is Quidditch, everyone. With 30 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock, the Hogs have taken a solid lead. In order for the Nimbus Nighthawks to secure this victory here, they are going to need to get 2 more goals and a snitch capture. Sweeping Flower now in possession of the quaffle, streaking downfield. Smart Bean turning back around to play some Seeker interference. N.E.W.T.s saves the shot on goal, prepares and sends it out. We now have Dark Rit in possession. Dark Rit looking for the shot. FM looking for a way to assist. Gets kicked by the keeper. Ooh. Udo gains possession of the quaffle. Sends it on out to Sweeping Flower. 3 minutes left on the clock. Seekers look to be fighting hard because the Nimbus Nighthawks have taken advantage of the possession on the field and are now leading in Snitch game. Nimbus Nighthawks looking to defend. Hogs in possession of the Quaffle. Sweeping Flower working their way downfield. Flying fast. Faces pass. And are they goal bound? Ah, no. N.E.W.T.s saves once again, showcasing a prominent position on their keeping abilities. But the snitch is over. Michimo capturing the snitch, bringing the score 30-40. Hogs still in the lead, but that advantage significantly reduced now. With 2 minutes left on the clock, there is still a chance to capture another snitch. There's still a way to put more points on the board, but the Hogs respond. They say, no, 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 no. You stay back there. We are going to get this snitch. We are going to get these goals. We are going to secure this victory, move into a game 5. Oh, we're loving this. Let's see, everyone. Let's see. Udamorn saves once again, sending it on downfield. Oh, looks like there was an unfortunate scam there. We have Dak Daniels in possession of the Quaffle. Sinks it home. 40-50. Still in lead for the Hogs, but the gap is narrowed. Will they have what it takes? Nighthawks to shut this game down, to put the Hogs out of place. We did see a surprising turnaround in that last match, but Sweeping Flower once again puts points on the board for the Hogs, ensuring that the Hogs have their chance, showcasing a brilliant strategy when it comes down to their chaser play. Looks like Dak Daniels is taking his time, passes it back. N.E.W.T.s in possession, sends it back over to Dark Rit Nighthawk. Seeker game is at about the 60-75 position, and Shucks sends it home. That is 70-40 by way of the Nimbus Nighthawks, or excuse me, by way of the Hellfire Hogs. 30 seconds left on the clock. Is there enough time for this snitch capture? Cheese and Queso gets knocked down, and it looks like we are going to see a capture by way of the Hogs. Do they have what it takes? Smart Bean in possession of the Quaffle. Chaser game otherwise abandoned. Michimo captures the snitch. Oh! Look at that. Nimbus Nighthawks brings 70-60. Hogs still in the lead. 10 seconds left on the board. Are we going to see this game go into overtime? Doesn't look like it. Oh, but it is! We're going into overtime with 70-70 left on the, or 70-70 on the scoreboard. We have Hellfire Hogs and Nimbus Nighthawks tied up. One final goal can change it all. If the Nimbus Nighthawks score here, then they will win this series here for the N.E.W.T.s qualifiers. But if the Hogs score here, they move on into a round 5. Smart Bean for the Hogs in possession of the Quaffle, whipping around, showcasing some advanced maneuvers. Oh, takes the shot, but it is defended. N.E.W.T.s sends it back down. They are fighting for the Quaffle here. Hogs back in position. Takes the shot and misses. Sends it back out. N.E.W.T.s in possession of the Quaffle. What an exciting match, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! And with that, 80-70. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with that, if I am not mistaken, I'm going to confirm really quickly, ladies and gents. But yes, I do believe with that we have seen the final match. Let's confirm here. See to it that all points are accounted for. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it does appear as if the Nimbus Nighthawks have won this series here with that third match win. In this best of 5 game, Hellfire Hogs secure 1 victory, Nimbus Nighthawks secure 3. What an exciting turnaround there in the last second. Nimbus Nighthawks showcasing that they can do well under pressure, turning games around even when all seems lost. Something that will help them in this next advancement into the series for the nastily exhausting Wizarding tests. Obviously, it's going to come in handy, but we still got to see how the points lie, what everything is going to look like when they move into the advancement there. As for the Hogs, what I said earlier under my mistake with regards to fantastic series, fantastic advancement, fantastic chemistry, that is all still true now. You did fantastic, and I can't wait to see what you have in store for Season 5. As for the Nimbus Nighthawks, congratulations on your win today. Fantastic work out there. For everyone watching today, if you haven't already, be sure to join us over on our Discord that you can find over at league7.gg. Be sure to like, subscribe on all of our social media platforms where possible, and be sure to join us next week for the first matches of the N.E.W.T.s proper. Today was the final for the qualifiers, which has resulted in the win of the Nimbus Nighthawks. Well done, Nighthawks. Congratulations, and great work out there, Hellfire Hogs. Both of you played spectacularly today, but as always, unfortunately, there can only be one winner. To know more about the leagues going on, join us over in our Discord, and join us again next week for the continuation of N.E.W.T.s. Thank you, everyone, for your patience and your time today. It has been fantastic. Bye-bye, everyone.